Top of the morning to you, and you're welcome to another beautiful journey in the world of sport. Right here on Dominion Television. This is Dominion Sport. This wonderful morning, all eyes are set, all actions are ready as the Super Eagles of Nigeria are set to take on the Panthers of Gabon right there in Morocco. And also, we'll be looking at the major stories making the rounds in the world of the MPFL as Remo Stars, the defending champions, welcome Enugu Rangers at the MK Abiola Stadium. Also, this wonderful morning, we're talking about golf, and I'm sure you'll be excited to get the report right here in the world of sport. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and I'm not alone in the studio. Yesterday, I informed you that one of the major reasons why we call him the man with unbiased analysis and undiluted report, and he did justice to the situation at the camp of the Super Eagles, and resolutions, came, and right about time for the Super Eagles to take action against the Panthers of Gabon by 5 p.m. in Morocco. I have Samson Balogun with me this morning. Top of the morning to you, sir.
Well, a beautiful morning to you, Toluwanimi. It's really nice to be here to talk sports once again. And of course, today being Thursday, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be slugging it out against the Panthers of Gabon. It's going to be a make-or-ma affair between these two teams. Whoever wins gets to progress in the qualifying series for the World Cup. I mean, that's really massive. Unfortunately, the Super Eagles of Nigeria to contend with strike actions leading up to this particular encounter. Yesterday, good news, they had to train late last night, and obviously that's a morale booster for the team and most definitely for the Nigerian people, knowing fully well that the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they are at least one way or the other prepared for the encounter against Gabon. But one thing we want to be clear about is that as at yesterday, Poja Media came out to say, look, yes, so many people have had this misconception about what actually brought about these industrial action by the Nigerian players. It wasn't about past allowances because the NSC Sports Commission stepped in and paid and cleared all allowances. What they are asking for at this time is a special bonus for this particular encounter against Gabon and Cameroon, and then leading up to the special qualification series. They are talking about 30,000 for each game, and the NFF are saying, look, we want to pay you 20, 10 per game, and then it ended up in a standoff. So we want to clear that perception now. That is not just about what had been honed since 2019. The Sports Commission cleared all that. All that is left is how much are you paying us for this next set of games that we're about to play against Gabon, and then ultimately against whichever team that wins against between DR Congo and the Cameroon in the other qualifying series. So that's the whole issue now. But I think as of now, they have been told to relax. Let's talk about it and then see how much we can actually, pay you. And then it has been resolved one way or the other. The Eagles of Nigeria will definitely play against Gabon later today.
All right, that's the update coming through from the camp of the Super Eagles. And make sure you're raising your banner, supporting them against the Panthers of Gabon. We'll be talking about that on the show this morning. But let's dive straight into the MPFL. The rescheduled game is going to be a big clash between the defending champions, Remo Stars, as they take on Enugu Rangers. Remember, the victory against Enugu Rangers, the victory for Enugu Rangers against Shooting Star Football Club will be a morale booster for them against the defending champions. And also, they are back to winning ways after defeating El Kanemi Warriors right there through additional time. It's going to be a big clash right there. Let's look at what is looking like already for this team. Samson Balogun. Remo Stars are getting the form back after defeating El Kanemi Warriors. Right about time, also Enugu Rangers on a big, morale booster defeating Shooting Stars. What's this game going to be like for both teams going into this encounter by 4 p.m. at the MK Abiola Stadium?
Well, when you said they are getting their form back, it must have been that they have won 2 or 3 games back to back. So I want to disagree with you on that particular one. It's not a fact. It's just something that happened. Yes, before they lost back-to-back games, they actually won a game and then lost about 2, 3, 4, I think leading up to 6 winless run for Remo Stars. So for me, that win against Academy Warriors is meant to be like a ladder to the next game and a morale booster of some kind leading into the next game against Rangers. And you see, when you look at that team, it surely lacks a professional coaching touch. And that is due to the fact that the head coach of the team is not available. That is Daniel Ogumorade, currently in Morocco with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So I still see Rangers International with the likes of Godwin Obaje and some other top quality players in that team, giving Remo Stars a run for their money. They are playing at home, but they are definitely coming from a very bad run of games. You know, they had six games without a win before they actually won against their Kanemi Warriors in their last game. Yes, and that game had to spill over till the last minutes of the game, the additional time, before they got the winning goal. So for me, yes, that they were able to dig deep to get that victory is a really massive one for Remo Stars. That shows the character and attribute of a champion. They did so well in that regard, but there are still a little bit of skirmishes here and there as regards how they play and the technical input of the current coach, who now acts, assistant coach now acts as head coach in the absence of Daniel Ogumodede. We have seen the fact that some of these players are anxious. Whatever it is he tells these players, I think they need to tone it down a little bit. It should be from a dean. It should not be ordinarily a mental thing. Oh, we want to win. It's not just about winning. It's about you getting it right, getting your acts right on the field of play. Are you solid defensively? Are you okay in the goalkeeping department, which is Obasa, since the departure of Kayode Bankole was the number one goalkeeper at the time. And then in the middle of the park, how solid are you defensively and attacking wise? How good are you? How many passes are you putting in the final third in your games? So it's not just about the diagonal passes you are keeping possession. Look, no matter how well we have once had, an Arsenal team that, 95% of the possession belongs to Arsenal, but they are still not winning games. It doesn't matter how much possession you have. It's about how many goals you put at the back of the net. So that's the most important thing. So you have to be solid in midfield, and you have to make sure that your attacking midfielders are delivering the clear-cut passes into the scoring positions, and that creates chances for your attackers on the field of play. And since the departure of some high-profile players at Remo Stars, they also saw the arrival of some other high-profile. Sikiru Alimi had to leave, but then Victor Mbauma, a proven goal scorer, once a top scorer in the NPFL, had to come into the team. He got a goal in their last game, fantastic player. He got a goal in the opening game of the season. He's not really there, but I think he can do better. And so many other players in the team. So it's really a situation where the coach really has to decide. Do we want a result now, or get the team back to where it rightly belongs? And that's the most important thing at this time.
So at this point in time, Sani Balogun, we need to also talk about Enugu Rangers, where it's the same situation with coach Daniel Ogumodede. Fidelis Ilechukwu also not in the team to be part of this game. What's it looking like for Rangers International also?
I think to an extent they are in the same ship. The ship is sailing very fast. Unfortunately, the captain is not in the is not in the ship. So that's quite unfortunate. They are friends actually. I think the last time they played, they had a scuffle, and then I think Fidelis Ilechukwu was calling Daniel Ogumodede a bad loser or something. There was an issue between them, but they were able to resolve it because they work together with the Super Eagles. You can't be enemies and work in the same team. So you are on the same side. Unfortunately, at club level, you are not on the same side, and they are playing, against each other. And they are both not available. The assistant coaches will have to, be at the arms of affairs in that game. So it's really going to be a tough task. For coach, the acting coach for Remo Stars, he's done a little bit of a good job, but if you check the last run of games in the absence of Daniel Ogumodede, it hasn't been rosy. But for Rangers, they have been able to manage it a little bit. Not because of the fact that the coach is better, but because the team is a little bit solid at this time. It's not like Rangers International lost too many players in the transfer window. They were able to keep some of the high-profile players, and that has helped them because when you look at how compact the team is, it helps in their transition from defense to attack, and so it's been a little bit rosy for them than Remo Stars. But in this game, Remo Stars will be playing at home. A big advantage for them, playing at the MK Abiola Stadium, as they have not yet moved to the Kenneth Township Stadium. So this will give Remo Stars a little bit of bragging rights. But hey, you can't just waltz into a victory against Rangers. You have to put in the work, put in the shift, and then you get your results. So if the team is well set up, compact in defense, solid in the goalkeeping department, creative in midfield, and then punchy in attack. Converting chances, no matter the kind of chance you get, if it is half or full chance, just make sure you put it back at the back of the net. Then victory is, we can say Victoria Asata. But then if it is not like that, then Rangers, they have deadly attacker in Godwin Obachi as a striker in that team. You saw what he did to Shooting Stars away from home. He did not get the goal, but he was right there, was terrorizing them. So that for me might be a problem for them. They're able to cage Godwin Obaje and maybe intercept some passes in midfield. Might be able to ease the pain for Remo Stars going into the game.
Let's look at the table for these two teams at the clash right there at the MK Abiola Stadium, and let's look at what a win we do for these teams and what a loss would actually do for them. There you have it. Samson Balogun, you look at Rangers International at the log of the table in the MPFL, and it's a massive one. They are 10th right there with 16 points. A win would actually take them to 18, sitting at 6th right there to Niger Tornadoes. Also, you look at Remo Stars, also a win also would take them ahead of that one, sitting maybe 13, and a certain Bayelsa United dropping, and a loss also would actually bring them back, to where they don't want to belong this season. So, a win for both teams. Looking at the log of the table right now, they need to pick up all 3 points.
Well, that's true. They both need, maximum 3 points in this game. If you look at what it looks like for Remo Stars, if they win this particular one, puts them on 16 points, and then propels them to at least 13th on the log, which is a fantastic place to be right now, because when you look at the other teams, there are about 3 or 4 teams on the same number of points. I think for Shooting Stars, Rangers, and Wiki Tourists, they will not be on the same point. So it now depends on how many goals they are able to score in this game that decides where they eventually end up on the log. So it's going to be a really difficult one, but who needs this game more? And that's Remo Stars. When you talk about their last form, it's not been good.
It's really bad.
Their last 7 games, it's been back-to-back losses at some point, and then getting a win their last game against their Academy Warriors. So I feel like they needed more than Rangers. But hey, Rangers also need to move. And if Rangers are able to get all 3 points in this game, that takes them to 19 points, and that's about 5th on the log. I mean, that's a really big place to be. And as we have always said, that the distance between all these teams are not really much. If Kano Pillars starts winning tomorrow on 6 points as they are now, if they win at least 2-3 games, they have an outstanding game anyway. So if they win their outstanding game, that's 9 points. They might just be behind Barao FC. On the same point. But the next set of games will determine how quick they get out of the relegation zone. So it's really not over for any team on the log. It's not over, even for Kano Pillars that have been the whipping boys, the crumbling pillars so far this season. So I feel like it's going to be a case of who wants it more between these two teams. But I feel that Remo Stars really needs all these 3 points in this game, because it's an outstanding game for them.
All right, let's see how that one's going to pan out right there at the MK Abiola Stadium. So make sure you drop your prediction and make sure you set your sights watching that game between the defending champions, Remo Stars, as they welcome Rangers International. Let's move away from that. We're going to watch the highlights between Remo Stars and El Academy Warriors. And when we're back, we're discussing the victory of the Falconets right there at the Wafu B. Stay connected. Do not go anywhere.
And about to signal for kickoff. The visitors get us on the way. Johnny Kabir with the first touch.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram at Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
All right, you're welcome back to Dominion Television, your channel of choice, and this is Dominion Sports. I still have the expert analyst himself, Samson Balogun, and also Paul Abe still giving you more updates in the world of sport. Right about time to talk about Nigeria's Falconets as a clincher 2025 WAFU B Under-20 Girls Cup with a win over Benin Republic. Samson Balogun is not over with Benin Republic yet. It's back-to-back whooping for this team. Nigeria Falconets secured the 2025 WAFU B Under-20 Girls Cup title right there in Benin, defeating host Benin Republic 1-0 on the 12th of November through Karim. Ramot Tolani in the 16th minute goal, making their fourth consecutive victory in the round-robin tournament. The tournament finished with 10 goals scored and 1 goal conceded for maximum points, while Kafayat Oluwatosin Mafi Shere and the women's of the match for midfield performance, and Ghana Sarah Yakoro received overall best player honors. Fans celebrated their win online by raising concerns about the potential low rewards from the Nigeria Football Federation. But let's talk about the victory for the girls. Fantastic one to see them, keep winning and keep soaring high. It's like they're following the footsteps of the Super Falcons.
Well, I think it's a really very good one at this time for Nigeria, asserting their authority over some countries in Africa. We have dominated female football for God knows how long. I mean, that's really a very big one. And to say that players like Ramotalaye Karim and Andalin Ngbechi, for example, one of the best goalkeepers in the team, was in goal during this tournament. At least it shows how consistent these players are. I mean, you see, Andalin Ngbechi had to come in from the Super Falcons down to the under-20 to play with them. Immediately after a particular match with the Super Falcons, had to drop down to the under-20. And these things happen with other national teams too around the world. When you have a fantastic player who is really massive in the team and then moves from the national team down to the under-20s, under-17s, just to be a part of it. So it's really a very big one. We are seeing the cross invitation between all these players. Yes, you battle for the under-20 and sometimes you are excused to play for the national team and then come back. And so we see the maturity in this team. They have developed to that extent, and that's really a very big one. Congratulations to them. At least WAFOB is no small tournament anyway. 4 games, and the most important thing is that they scored 10 goals and considered just one. I mean, that's massive. It means that out of 4 games they considered in just one game. So that's about 25%. So it's just something really great out there. We want to build on this particular one. Build a momentum. Aside from the Super Falcons, we can also build a momentum of a winning streak for the under-20, under-17, and it's going to be something really good for Nigeria. Yes, nobody can contest the best in Africa with us when it comes to female football. But can we transmit that to the world scene?
Stage,
I mean, once we are able to do that, and that's about consistency. You don't invite some players today and then tomorrow none of them is in the team, a new set of players are coming. It's about evolving and revolving around what is currently going on. So if that is achieved, I think the football in Nigeria, female football in Nigeria is going to develop way beyond what he thinks.
All right, that's the victory for the ladies, that we will open for the best, that we see more of them on the big stage, just like Samson Balakun said. Let's look at the camp of the Super Eagles. It's about time to discuss that big game by 5 p.m. today, and like I said, it's going to be a massive one. Like Samson Balakun said, it's either make or mar. It's not a two-legged game. It's one leg. You go to extra time, you play on penalties, and also we got to report that VAR is going to be on ground to monitor things like. I was speaking to somebody yesterday, and when the person said VAR is going to be on ground, my mind went to Stanley Wambale. I'm like, can you just comport yourself this time around, please? VAR is monitoring. So if the referee is not seeing, there's somebody watching. And we could not fight the situation report of the South African referees refereeing the game. You look at the Benin Republic referee also being a part of that. We could not fight that out. So all eyes are going to be on this game, and so every player needs to play their part. But Samson Balogun, is about time to discuss that. How do you look at this team? Look at what we faced on Tuesdays down to Wednesday morning, till the evening, and we are set for this game against the Panthers. You look at the Gabonese players. You have the player from Galatasaray, Aubameyang, also from Marseille, Lamina also. You look at these quality players, and they didn't just find themselves here. They fought their way to this stage. So it's not going to be an easy battle. But let's start off with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the players. What the setup going to be like? What the tactics going to be like? The mentality of the player. Are they fit and ready for this game? Well,
one thing I have been able to dissect so far is the fact that since Coach Eric Sekou has taken over as the coach of the Super Eagles, and he's been doing his thing tactically, technically in the team. I think he has brought a little bit of authority into how he plays. He knows exactly how he wants to play. And the only thing that I see that has not really been that rosy for him is substitutions, especially when the Super Eagles is in trouble. So I think that area it can improve on. Now, if you look at how the team is to set up, obviously the Gabonese national team, the Panthers of Gabon, would definitely be fitter, sharper, and most definitely fresher ahead of this game because they had their full training sessions. I think they had about 3 or 4. The Super Eagles of Nigeria shelved one of their training sessions, and they've had to do extra work in their last training session yesterday. Yes, they are still going to be do light warm-up later today, but one thing is clear. You see, whatever it is, there's no shortcut anywhere. You know, you are definitely going to pay for everything you missed or you tried not to do, which is what I foresee and in this game. And if you are to put everything in place, there are some players who are doing week in, week out sort of things with their club sides. Victor Osimhen, fantastic player. His club lost in their last home game, their last game in the Turkish league, but he still had to rush down, and he's quite sharp. You will see that in him always. He's always representing. Fantastic player. And you have players like Ademola Lookman that sometimes you might have to work him up to make sure that he delivers. Moses Simon has been a little bit of a wasteful player for the Nigerian national team of late, but that's not far-fetched because he now plays as more or less as a false 9 for his team, Paris FC, in France. And that's totally different to what he sees in Nigeria. So it might be a little bit difficult for him, but someone should just tell him to make sure that you don't worry about the goals. I mean, it's not like anybody is giving a particular player money for scoring the goals. Find a way to create assists, create chances for your team, and you might just see Victor Osimhen or any other player in the right position at the right time to convert. Now, I think the setup in the midfield, just like we earlier, opined and envisaged, is that, yes, normally you will see Wilfred Ndidi, but there should be another enforcer in that place, which is, I think Frank Onyeka will do a very good job.
You prefer Frank to Rafael Onyedika?
I think Frank Onyeka will be a very good player because the difference between Rafael Onyedika and Frank Onyeka and Alassane Yusuf is that Frank Onyeka is more of a box-to-box midfielder, the Michael Essien kind of midfielder that you would see in your half, and then the next minute is already in the opposite. Very energetic kind of player. But if you are looking for a sweeper to move Wilfred Ndidi a little bit up forward, you might just want to think in the area of Rafael Onyedika or Alassane Yusuf. They are more or less like a deep-lying defensive midfielder that can also make if they have enough chance to get those passes to the nearest man. So that's the approach. If the coach wants to do a swift transition from defense to attack, you might want to think of Rafael Onyedika. If there is enough space for him to actually make his runs, within the next 30 seconds, the ball is already in the opposition half. But if you want to keep the ball as slow as possible, absorb the pressure, keep the ball for some time, I want to talk about Rafael Onyedika or Alassane Yusuf. Once they have the ball, they don't want to do too much. They want to give the ball to the nearest man, Wilfred Ndidi, or maybe Alex will be up front, and then to the flanks and see whoever can create chances for the team. So that's what I see. But I would prefer to see a Frank Onyeka in the starting 11, Wilfred Ndidi and Alex Iwobi in midfield. And in attack, so many people are really confused about what Samuel Chukwueze brings to the team. I mean, he's one of the most hard-working players in the Super Eagles team. Because when he doesn't have the ball, he's always pressing. He's always closing down the spaces to stop you from.
It does that perfectly with the Super Eagles.
To make sure he stops you from dropping those time bomb passes into the Super Eagles half. So I see him as a player that is going to be really instrumental, especially in the first half of the game. He's running, he's marking. His ability to mark and, of course, defend, press higher on the field of play, defend from the front is going to be really an asset for the Super Eagles in this game against Gabon. Don't forget that they have, players defenders who actually play high up the pitch. They try to press forward because they love to keep the ball on the floor. And you cannot play keeping the ball on the
Keeping the
floor
ball, yeah.
when you don't have players who can actually, play with their foot. So that's one thing. That's one area of quality you have to look at from the Gabonese. And don't forget that it's a prediction, but don't be surprised if they outclass us when it comes to possession. Yes, because they know how to do. Mario Lemina is a fantastic DM and also a playmaker, and he knows definitely how to keep the ball and then push the ball into attack. And don't forget that if you keep eye line against a player like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, you are definitely going to pay for it. Calvin Bassey was saying something, I think day before yesterday, and said, look, I have played against this guy. I know what he brings to the table. Even William Troost-Ekong says he's a deadly striker. Forget about the fact that he's injured, he's getting old. He's still doing really fine when it comes to converting chances. So do not underrate Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So if you do that, you do that at your own peril.
Okay. Something about to go right about time. Now we're talking the style and the players who should start. So would you prefer an Ademola Lookman to start in this game ahead of Moses Simon or maybe a certain Samuel Chukwueze?
Well, if you are playing an extra man in midfield, which is, as I said earlier, Frank Onyeka, Wilfred Ndidi, and Alex Iwobi, you might want to do Ademola Lookman in terms of creativity. What he brings to the table is not just to run.
Even in his correct form.
He drops deeper to midfield and be a playmaker sometimes when you need him. That position Moses Simon cannot fill. Moses Simon can only play at the left side of attack, or sometimes play right behind the striker, which is not usually effective. But then he can play as a false nine. If you want to do a false nine, you might want to put a Moses Simon there, which means he can operate on anywhere in the front three. So that for me is one of his secret weapons. He can also play on the right, but most times he's usually wasteful. Sometimes forgets the ball behind him, and But I do not take anything away from him. Moses Simon is a fantastic player. He's a very good player, and he has proven time and time again that he's one of the quality players that is dependable and can always be counted upon when invited into the Super Eagles fold. So I want to see an Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, and most definitely Samuel Chukwueze in the front three. Moses Simon can come in and play the joker again. He can always come in and do that. And in midfield, Alex Iwobi should be coached into knowing the difference between being the playmaker in the team and just another player on the field.
I agree with that.
Because when you are the playmaker in the team, the responsibility of creating chances
is on you.
Is on you. It lies solely on your shoulder. Whatever it is the wingers bring to the table is a plus. It's an add-on. Because one thing they first do as an attacker when you're on the field, especially as players on the flanks, what you do is to help your team press the opposition defense to commit offenses, defend roughly, make mistakes, and eventually these are things that can lead to goals. Sometimes back passes can be intercepted and then it is laid down to a player that can actually convert chances. So they should understand the fact that Alex Iwobi is the creative fulcrum of the team, and someone should coach him on how to create chances. We have seen what he does so far this season. We have seen what he does with Fulham, and it's a very good job. I mean, recently he clocked a certain number of appearances for Fulham. I mean, one of the best for Super Eagles players in the APL. So that tells you how consistent he has been from his days at Arsenal to Everton, now to Fulham. I mean, you cannot remain in the APL unless you have a certain quality you bring to the table. It's not just about running. It's about what you do, what you bring to the table, how you create chances, especially as a midfielder. So if the coach can actually bring the best out of him.
That's the show now.
You know, we have had so much comparison. One of the challenges we have had in the Super Eagles is the fact that when a player leaves a position, you are looking for a like-for-like replacement, which is most times not going to happen. Let's start from the defensive midfield. You had a certain Sunday Olise at a point, and then they graduated. We had Asani Keita, Yusuf Ayila. We have had so many players who have actually played in that position. Then Wilfred Ndidi. We have had Frank Onyeka, Alaza Yusuf, Ogeyi Onazi in that position. These are different players in their own right. They don't play the same way. But one thing is certain. They have always brought something to the table each time they are called upon. One player that I still regret that they really did not fulfill potential in the Super Eagles as much as he tried his best and the injury took the best out of him was Ogeyi Onazi. Fantastic player, energetic runner. I mean, when it comes to passing, he's always there. He doesn't want to do too much. He wants to give the ball to the nearest man, triangulate, get the pass on the other hand, give to the nearest person. That's the kind of player you want to see. Another player that plays such way in the current Super Eagles team is Alhassan Yusuf. He doesn't want to do too much. He wants to do his job primarily as a DM, get the ball, give the ball to the creative fulcrum of the team, or maybe look for another defender that can help you triangulate, you get the pass on the other end. And I mean, football is not rocket science.
Not rocket science.
It's very easy.
I agree.
Only if you understand. I mean, you get your first touches right, you know how to turn, you know how to release your passes, you know how to hold on to the ball and when to do it. I mean, that makes you one of the best midfielders.
Right.
But if you cannot get it right, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it.
All right. I'm still going to ask Samson Balogun for his prediction ahead of this game, but we need to move because of our time, and let's talk golf. When you talk golf, Samson Balogun, it reminds you of a certain Tiger Woods. You remind you of Jersin. I can just go on and on to remember such names. And right about time to talk golf, because I think this is one game that we also need to market and put into Nigerian sport properly, because there's a whole lot of money when it comes to golf. All right. Over 300 golfers set for Ibadan's Open Championship. Beautiful. Over 300 golfers are set to participate in the 2025 Ibadan Open Golf Championship, aimed at restoring Ibadan Golf Club IGC prestige as a hub for top golfing talent across Nigeria and beyond. The captain of the club, Seyi Alaba, announced this during a press conference, expressing excitement over the massive turnout. And I quote, "We initially planned for 200 players, but we now have over 250 entries," he said. To manage the large field, qualifying rounds will hold on Friday and Saturday, while the finalists compete on Sunday. About 30 professional golfers are also expected to feature in the tournament. The 3 days event will include themed side attraction, Ibadan Night on Friday. Governor Seyi Makinde also, old school edition, is going to be on ground. Captain Alaba reaffirmed that the championship seeks not only to promote golf, but also to re-establish Ibadan as a major golfing destination in Nigeria. Samson Balogun, we're also going to listen, to Coach Alaba, but let's just take a little bit dive on what is set to happen in the city of Ibadan and how golf can become a major economic drive tool, to Nigerian sport and Nigerian economy at large.
Well, if you look at the history of golf in Nigeria, I mean, you have to trace it back to Ibadan, one of the oldest golf clubs in Africa.
I love to be there always.
One of the oldest golf clubs in Africa. That's IGC. I mean, we've done so much for sports in Nigeria, and I really feel like the current setup of the golfing setup in the country, they are really doing a very good job. I mean, we have seen them, hold competitions of similar magnitude in the past, and this one is going to be a very exciting one. If you look at what the captain of the team brings to the table, yes, sir. Aside from just bringing members of the club to play, they are bringing in professional golfers to compete. Yes. That increases the competition in the team. That helps other golfers in the team to improve and develop. So it's a very big one, and it's in the history. It's also been said that when I want to use a particular term that Ibadan know they carry last, and that's a very good one.
Agree.
I mean, when you look at the setup, how they are prepared, holding a press conference, things that you really will not see anywhere else. Maybe sooner or later you will see international golfers coming in to be a part of what we currently have on ground. I mean, it's if you look at the facility too, one of the things I cherish so much about IGC is the fact that they have always maintained their facility. Usually, anytime you get there, it's always there. Even when you are passing without entering the facility, you're always seeing the field, and you are happy that this is what you are seeing. So there has been a level of transition from different administrations within the golf club that has always maintained a status quo in terms of maintenance. I mean, we have to give them their flowers for that. And for the captain of the team, Alaba, he's done a very good job since he assumed the office as the captain of the IGC. And if you do an holistic approach at golf in Nigeria, the IGC has contributed so much. They have contributed immensely to development of golf as a game. So let's see how this game pans out. I'll see what they bring to the table this time around, and then because each time there's a competition of this magnitude, it's always a step ahead of what was done in the past. So the development, the growth has really been something some of us are looking at, and we do hope that with this one, it sets a tone for something really bigger next time.
I agree. Let's listen to Coach Captain Seyi Alaba speaking to us, and we'll be back to wrap up the show. Like I said, I think it's high time we now set the tone to compete in the bigger stage. Yes, Captain Coach Seyi Alaba speaking.
You know, golf in this part of the world is not peculiar to Ibadan Golf Club only. We have not gotten to a stage that you allow people to watch the game. For instance, in our club, now the way it's designed, you can only watch 2 holes conveniently. That is the 01 where we start from and the 18 where we close the game and where we end the game. But this year we're looking at on Friday for the golf professionals, that will be the final day they will play. We will allow people to watch. Then also we are going to stream it live. So you can watch it on our YouTube channel, and on different social media handles that we have. And also for the people at the pavilion, it's going to be projected on the bigger screen there. So everybody will watch it live. And why some of the, abroad, they work with the players and all of that, and they actually pay a token or something for it. But here, we have invited some people, and when they come around, they may decide to stay at the pavilion, watch on the screen, and they may decide to, move with they will not be restricted to do that. They will only be guided on what they are supposed to do, so that they don't distract the players. The game of golf is a game of precision.
This event is going to create an avenue for people not only to come to see the game of golf, but also to promote friendship, an opportunity to meet with cream de la cream in society, because our invite was extended to people who are high profile in our society. So during this program, people will have opportunity of meeting with even their dream personalities, and to create an avenue to establish a fresh business relationship.
All right, there you have it. The captain of the club, Sheyi Alaba, speaking. Let's just wrap up with that story. A fantastic one. We are set for Friday. This weekend is going to be a massive in the city of Ibadan. What are your expectations quickly?
Well, I think Captain Alaba made mention of so many things about the fact that usually, they hadn't grown to the extent where people will have to watch them play. It is usually about, what did you play, what happened, and then, press releases and the likes. But this time around, they are opening up the golf club to people to actually come and see, which you usually see when Tiger Woods and some other golfers when they are playing. So it's a welcome development, and this time around too, they have tried to put it out there for everyone to see. Even if you are not there, you can usually watch. He said it's going to be live on their YouTube channel, a fantastic one. I mean, they have actually achieved some giant strides going forward into this one. So we do hope that come Friday, a lot of things will happen. And when it comes to branding, when it comes to a game of golf, and definitely when it comes to networking, which is usually one of the things you do when you golf. So it's for golf in Africa, especially in Nigeria, in Ibadan, it's usually it's a networking thing. I mean, if you are there, you understand where I'm coming from. So I think it's going to be a high-profile event, and I do know that with what coach, the captain of the club, Sheyi Alaba said, you have to take his word for it.
All right, and also on Sunday, in honor of the new Olubadan of Ibadan, Oba Rashidi Adewolu Ladoja is going to be on ground for the ground celebration. That's all we can take on the show this wonderful morning right here on Dominion Sports. Samson Balogun, let me ask you your predictions for this game by 5 p.m.
Well, I think it's going to end in a 1-1 draw, full time. Maybe extra time, or when they go to penalties. Maybe the Super Eagles of Nigeria can carry it. But with the advantage by the Gabonese team, I think they'll really struggle in this game.
All right, let's know your prediction right there in the comment section. What do you think about the game today by 5 p.m. in Morocco? The Super Eagles are going to clash with the Panthers of Gabon. It's going to be a massive game, so keep raising your flag, keep supporting the Super Eagles, and make sure you follow, share, subscribe, and drop your prediction in the comment section, and you stand a chance to win something on the show. Thank you so much for joining us on the show this wonderful morning. I say big thank you to Samson Balogun. Thank you so much. It's always glad and exciting to have you on the show. And also to the camera guys, the crew, the producers, I say big thank you. We're going to see you again tomorrow, the Friday edition of the show. Stay blessed and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.